Yeah. Isla. Isla. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. No, she's not doing it. Hello and welcome back to another video, not another episode of this week's watches. Today I thought it'd be fun because it is 10:30 in the morning on Monday, Monday the 27th, and the new watches have just been announced. I'm going to try and get this edited and up today. That's the plan. Are you alright? You looked at that clock. Oh, that clock's still wrong. Yeah, the time went forward, not back. And we're gonna look at the new releases, and I thought it'd be fun to have my wife Leah here to chat through as well. Obviously big into watches now and an absolute expert. We're gonna use Hodinkee, but you know more than Hodinkee, right? So we're gonna be using Hodinkee for some information, some of the new information and bits and bobs. And as you can see, we also have our daughter in the office today as well. So it's a full family video. But before we dive into the new releases and discuss them and give our opinions, because I always get asked and it's copy and paste oftentimes of my opinion, I thought I'd rather do this and just link this video. But before we do that, let's talk about what we're wearing. What's on wrist for you today? What is it?
Christopher Ward.
Yeah, which one?
I don't know.
Me neither. It's the new 36 purple.
It's purple.
It's your new favourite watch, isn't it? You haven't taken it off, I think.
No.
What do you think of the new strap it came with, the leather? You weren't a fan, were you?
No, the strap's not very comfortable.
And it has that little dangly bit.
Yeah, it's more the stitch on the keeper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we sized the bracelet for you, and you're happy. Happy as Larry.
Yes.
If you hear a massive thud, it's our daughter's head on this very soft wooden table. Probably shouldn't include that in the video, should we? We look after you, I promise, don't we? Say yes. Yes. And I'm wearing my 1975 Zenith Defy, which I do not wear anywhere near enough. I love this watch. It's an absolute beauty. But that's enough of what we're wearing. Let's get on to what you're here to see, and that is the watches. So, first bit of news, the Rolex Milgauss is discontinued. That's what Isla thinks to it. She's disappointed there's not a new one to replace it. This is going to be fun.
I don't like that anyway.
You didn't like the Milgauss, any of the colours?
The green's better than the blue.
The green,
Yeah.
So the green bezel, the green crystal version with the black, yeah? And you didn't like the blue?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the first ever Rolex Milgauss, we'll put photos up for you guys as well. And as I say, we're using Hodinkee, so there will be photos and credit to Hodinkee for a lot of this. This was such an incredible watch. Look at this, with the bezel. So this is one of the ones with the bezel, the originals. And then if we look at a vintage, how cool is that? Do you like it? You don't?
Looks a bit Explorer.
Yeah, a bit like the Explorer, a bit like an Oyster Perpetual, because it was an Oyster Perpetual. It was an Oyster Perpetual Milgauss, same as the Air King. The Air King is the Oyster Perpetual Air King. They're all extensions to that model, so yeah, there's definitely similarities. But yeah, so they've discontinued the Milgauss, and that is now gone, which leads us to believe that eventually there will be a new Milgauss. People thought it'd happen this year. Clearly not. They've just discontinued it and moved on to something else. Now, the first big news we're going to look at is the new Rolex Perpetual collection, as they've called it. This is really the first time we've seen a brand new Rolex like this brought to the front. The Rolex Cellini was kind of what they tried to do. It failed. They've done this. What's your initial thoughts on this?
I like that it goes back to a vintage Rolex.
So sort of the vintage era. What's your opinion on, because it's 39 millimeters and it's 18 karat yellow gold or 18 karat white gold for 21,000 Swiss francs.
I think I'd prefer the yellow gold.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you like it as a model. You can see all four here. So you've got white dial and you've got black dial, both in yellow and in white gold. You like it?
Yeah, I like the black dial with the
You
gold.
like the black dial with the gold? Yeah?
The white dials are a bit too modern looking.
Yeah. And again, we want to preface this with, obviously, we're not seeing real photos of the watches. We're seeing renders at the moment. And also we have, obviously, not got hands-on with the watches. I'm interested to see this in person. I like the new hand. I can't remember what they call that. It's like a observatory hand. There you go. Which is very much like Breguet. That's what Breguet like to do, that sort of hand. Interesting dial, you know, superlative chronometer written there in a vintage style, as chronometer would have been on the old watches. The model line, I believe, is 1908, which is a hardback to when the trademark for Rolex was put in. Yeah, interested to see this one. I think it's good to actually see a whole new model line, whole new range and a whole new design from Rolex. 39mm, we'll see what that's like in the flesh. Exhibition case back as well. What do you think?
I don't get it, personally. I think
What do you think of the
it
movement?
makes it look a little bit tacky.
A little bit tacky. Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. It's a new caliber, the 7140, which, you know, as far as Rolex calibers go, a beautiful caliber. But I agree with you. Exhibition casebacks, it doesn't feel like Rolex. It's never really something they've done.
Rolex isn't usually about a beautiful looking movement. It's about a well-running movement.
Yeah, built to last, you know, and that's how it's always been. And it's almost like we're seeing, Isla agrees with all this, it's almost like we're seeing this transition of Rolex going into more mainstream in terms of their approach. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely appears that way, and we'll see more on exhibition casebacks on a Daytona in a minute as well. New style butterfly clasp as well. I think that's really nice. It looks very, very well done.
I was just looking at.
Very comfortable it looks. I never really get on with these, so it'll be interesting to see what this is like in person.
Like,
Too curved?
no, it looks like it's got a little bit of a dip in the middle.
Yeah, which might be
Which
to
is what-
imitate
yeah.
the wrist a bit more. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. Isla, what do you think of it? Yeah, that's what Isla thinks. She's impressed. She's impressed. So the next one we're going on to, a no-brainer really, a Rolex GMT Master II in yellow gold and two-tone.
I think they should have just done the yellow gold.
They shouldn't have done the two-tone.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Interestingly, this is the first full yellow gold sports model they've done on a Jubilee in a very long time. For
really
whatever
like
reason.
it.
Yellow gold is now coming back again. It was this phase of just rose gold, as we saw with the introduction of the root beer. This is a black and grey almost bezel, rather than all black. I think it looks really nice. It's attractive. It's going to be a hit. There's no doubt about it. I think it's not surprising really, and it's not, you know, breaking the world really. Retail on it for the two-tone is 15,700 Swiss francs, and for the full gold 37,100. It'll be interesting to see what this trades at. I'm not too sure. Hello. Isla's joining us for a couple. Any other comments on that?
No, I really like the gold. The two-tone's a bit.
You're not a fan?
No.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Prefer
Isla,
the
what do you
two-tone
think?
when it's
Rose gold.
yes.
Yeah, you prefer the rose gold two-tone. Fair enough, fair enough. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this trades in the market. I have no predictions for that one. The what do they call it? The Perpetual line, I think is the name. I don't think that's going to trade very well at all. I think that's going to be readily available. So yeah, we'll see. Next up, the Daytona. Look at this brand new Daytona. How brand new does that look? It's not at all. They've reconstructed the case a little bit apparently to make it, it's still 40mm, but it makes it feel that bit bigger on the wrist. Rolex have been really good at these small little tweaks over the years. If you look at she's clicking away over it. If you look at a 5-digit Submariner and a 6-digit, you'll see those differences. Let me see if I can get my daughter. There we go. You'll see those differences in. It's very subtle, but it's there. You can tell.
Basically, in the photos, you can't tell any difference.
Yeah, exactly. But in wrist, I suspect you will. It's also a new caliber with all these new bells and whistles. Does it really matter? Not really, in my opinion. The bezel looks, looking at that photo from Hodinkee, the bezel looks a lot more sloped than it used to be. So I don't know if that's just an optical illusion. There's a new caliber. What do you think, Isla? She's not impressed. And they've done that across the board. But the biggest...
All the same colours?
Yeah, they're pretty much the same. I don't think there isn't a new Daytona. They're just all the same Daytonas done with the new movement and the new case proportions. The biggest news, however, is an exhibition case back on the Platinum. Thoughts?
Why?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's the first time they've done an exhibition case back on a sports watch.
It's going to probably make it a bit lighter, but...
Yeah, but the whole point of Platinum is you've got that weight.
You want to feel it.
Yeah, I feel like they've... And it definitely isn't this, but it almost feels like a brand cutting a corner to save a bit on the Platinum. And it definitely isn't that. Rolex is not doing that. They think this is a good idea. It'll be interesting to know what you guys think down in the comments. But for me, I don't want an exhibition case back, for the most part, on any watches, really, unless it's something super high echelon, a Langer or something like that.
I don't know, but I guess this makes it easier, though, if it's a brand new watch, you don't want to open the back to check it. At least now you can see the movement, check it's all...
A visual inspection?
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. But again, I don't think that was probably their
No.
reason. But yeah, no, I guess so. So that's that. I think on one of the, I could be wrong, but I think on the all golds it's exhibition now. I don't know that for certain, so don't quote me on that. I don't think it is. Might just be the platinum. Yeah, that's the Daytona news. Nothing really exciting. Slight reconstruction of the case, an exhibition case back on the platinum. Pretty boring if you ask me. Next up, one I got completely wrong. So when they discontinued the 39mm Explorer and came back to the 36mm only 2 years ago, I said that we will probably never see a bigger Explorer again because there's no historical relevance to a bigger Explorer. It's always been 36mm, arguably the smaller size in the earlier references as well. So they've released it now in 40mm. I was completely wrong. Predicted it very, very wrong. So 39mm discontinued 2 years ago, 36mm brought out, hasn't been as huge of a success as I think they thought it would be. It's done very well, it trades over retail, but not crazy. Now they've done, that's what Isla thinks. Okay, we're doing lots of cuts, because our daughter is being a little pickle, ain't you? So, 40mm Explorer, opinions?
I don't know. I'd have to try it on, because that's the whole thing with the 39. Is it didn't wear well, whereas if this wears well,
You
then
didn't
I'd
think the
quite
39...
like it bigger.
Oh, okay, interesting. You didn't think the 39 wore well?
When I last tried one on, no.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
I am liking bigger watches now.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I wonder if this is going to be the case of the 40mm sub and the 41mm sub. It's a mil difference, but it really isn't. On the wrist, the 41 actually wears arguably better than the 40, slightly. I wonder if this is going to be the case with this one. We'll have to wait and see. So it's an interesting one. This is definitely going to be a wait and see kind of deal. I'm not bothered by this. I think it'll be a good thing to have. We'll have both. What's she doing? You got me. Yeah. You want to talk as well. You want to give your opinion. So moving on to a interesting one. Rolex Oyster Perpetual Bubbles. I don't know what the official name for it is called. But basically, Rolex, as a lot of you know, they did the Oyster Perpetuals in all the crazy colours in 2020. And they did very well. And they've now decided to put all those colours into one watch with all these colourful bubbles on a Tiffany blue, if you call it that, dial. It's going to be available in 31, 36 and 41mm. Yeah, I'll let you go first with this one. What do you think?
I think they are diversifying a bit more, trying to be your everyday watch, your classy watches, as well as now your fun watches.
So you think this is their attempt to broaden their market?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. What do you think of the watch though? Do you like it? Do you not?
I think it's definitely fun. I think it's one of those pieces you put on maybe in summer.
Yeah. I think it's going to be short-lived entertainment. Is that right? Is that what you think? I think it's going to be short-lived entertainment. Like these really crazy, colourful watches. You either really love them or you don't. You're wearing a bright purple watch. You know. Hello.
Hiya.
Hello.
Hiya.
All right, we're gonna try sitting back a little bit now with Isla here joining us. So yeah, back to that one. I'm unsure. I want to see it in person. Instant first reaction is, what on earth is this? This is horrible. Is it a collaboration with an artist? I'm not a fan. However, I agree with you. I think it might be one in person where I'm like, that's kind of fun. I kind
do
of
wish
like
that
it.
they did the dial as white though, with the bubbles.
With all the colours.
Like, yeah, with all the colours as bubbles,
Interesting.
rather than putting some white bubbles in.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so that's your critique of it. Let us know down in the comments. What do you think? I think it's one that most people are going to have the most
And from the photos,
opinions
the
of.
pink doesn't look very pink. But I think that was like that with the pink
watch.
one as well.
Yeah, with the watch itself, it's like that. The next one, yeah. So they've done.
I hate it, but I love it.
Yeah, they've done some new day dates. Before we talk about the new day dates, we'll talk about this one specifically. A puzzle motif dial with again different colours, and it's different words for the day and 31 emojis for the date. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, to be honest. Isla's got it in a nutshell.
Bit weird that it's gold.
Do you think white gold would have been better?
I think it would have looked a bit nicer.
I don't think this watch can look nice, personally. I don't get it. I think this is almost like Richard Mille did that emoji watch, didn't they? And they did all the like marshmallowy things for the ladies' pieces. And
I don't get the day and date thing. I don't get why they've done that.
Yeah, I really feel like this is them just... I don't know who this is supposed to be for. I think it's for what Rolex think the new generation is, right? This is in their head, that is the new generation.
I have just noticed the indices though.
Yeah, the indices are rainbow sapphires. Nice touch, sure. But again, like, it's going to do well, I think, maybe. I don't know, actually. But I think this is Rolex, when they look at their demographics, sat there in their offices, in their suits, as this authorised charity, this is what they think the younger generation is, right? And maybe they're right. You know, I definitely don't fall into the traditional camp of people this age group that they think they're appealing to.
I don't think it's going to be the younger people buying it. I think it will be older people buying it as like a bit of fun, a bit of youth.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Do you know I can imagine wearing this watch, and I mean this with zero disrespect. My producer Michael, you know, the Californian guy. This is a producer Michael watch. I think you'll like this. And again, that's the kind of person I can imagine wearing this. You know, someone with very loud dress style and
Slightly
loud cars.
eccentric.
Yeah, exactly that. It's eccentric. So that's our opinion of that watch. I think most people are going to absolutely hate it. Isla doesn't like it, as you can see. She's disgusted. So you just go, no. Yeah, it makes you angry, does it? Yeah. Don't like it? These cheeks. Oh, they have got it in white gold. Well, there you go. Clearly, we didn't read ahead. So they do actually have it in white gold. Jigsaw puzzle motif dial. Isla still doesn't like it in white metal.
I think it looks better in
It does
white.
look better in white. You're right. I didn't think it would.
The gold doesn't make any sense now.
You know, at a first glance, I look at it. It looks like a Michael Kors watch to me. You know,
Gold?
Well, both. I think they look like a Michael Kors watch. I wouldn't think Rolex. But maybe that's the point. I don't know. And then we come on... Oh, they did it in rose as well. Oh,
Why didn't we scroll through
I
first?
know, horrible. See, Isla doesn't like any of it. Okay, yeah, I think we're going to have to fly through the rest of these. If she'll let us. So the next ones we're going to look at are the new Day Date 36 stone dials, or special dials. We have a green aventurine, carnelian, or however you pronounce it, I'm butchering all these, in turquoise. 18 karat ever rose, yellow and white gold respectively.
I
with
love the
diamonds.
dials.
Okay.
I hate the indices.
I
Not
agree
a
with you.
fan of the bezel either.
I don't mind the bezel. It would have been much cooler with princess cut or sapphires or something like that. Because the round brilliants, as beautifully set as they are, you've got the spaces. I just feel like it looks far cleaner when it's all clean cut emeralds all the way around. I think that's a beautiful look. I agree with you on the dial. I have never been a fan of the Roman numerals diamond encrusted or diamond set. I just don't get it. I think it looks rather tacky. What would have been really cool, and I wish they had done, like the old Onyx dials where they had nothing on the dial other than Rolex and Day Date. Imagine that with nothing other than the Day Date, the hands and the stone.
I would have liked it without the day date.
So an Oyster Perpetual.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
interesting.
completely plain
Interesting.
dial.
I'm saying all this though, I think it's a really cool watch, and I think it's really cool what they're doing with the stones. I'm a big fan of turquoise. Aventurine's fantastic. Green Aventurine especially. I don't know what she's doing down there.
Personally, the turquoise would be the only one
You'd like.
I'd wear.
Right, okay. Yeah, and I think it looks nice in white gold
That's
as
just
well.
because it's more classy looking.
Yeah. So that's our opinion on those. I think it's really great, in my opinion, to see these special stone dials coming back and Rolex really making an effort with that because it's such a huge part of their history. The Stellar dials, all these different things. It's really good. I just don't think it's executed quite as well. And if I was in the market for something like this, I would be looking at vintage. They are a completely different price point. If I'm not mistaken, the vintage are going to be way more expensive still than these because they are so rare. However, it's nice to have the option. Again, I really think if they had cleaned that dial up, no numerals at all, just the stone, my God, that would be beautiful, like the old Onyx dials.
Yeah. Even just printed Roman numerals would have looked better.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Maybe. So that's our opinion on those. So next, I think our daughter's climbing around in the bag, but she's happy. We're going to keep her that way rather than interrupt. Any of you with a kid out there, I think this is going to be interesting. The comments, it's going to be like people with our children like, you're not paying attention to your child, how dare you? And then you're going to have all the people with kids like, oh look, she's playing with a bag, it's perfectly okay.
She's
That's
not
what we
in the
do.
bag, it's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, the Rolex Yachtmaster 42 titanium. They did a 50mm deep sea challenge, Sea Dweller. It was horrendous, and now they've done the Yachtmaster. What's your thoughts?
I never
That's
liked
ours.
the
She-
bigger
she
Yachtmasters
said that.
anyway.
You never
I
liked them?
liked the 37mm, is it?
They did a 37, yeah, they did
Yeah.
a smaller size.
I just think like the thickness and the bezel, the
Can you
amount of
scroll
bezel
down
that
so I
there
can see it?
is on
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
prefer it smaller.
Fair enough. I think for bigger wristed people out there, this is a really cool option. And I think all brushed titanium is nice. It's the first real
It's maybe
introduction.
because it's going to be lighter because it's titanium, it might feel better on smaller wrists as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to wear it?
Bum, 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 bum. Your wrist ain't going to be big enough. You need like a 22mm little ladies piece. Okay, so the final ones we're going to go through are, we're going to try and get through. Isla is not letting us do this at all. The Sky Dweller. Won't spend too long on this. They've only really done some new versions with new dials. Thoughts?
I'm never a massive fan of the Sky Dweller.
I agree with you. I
It's
think
a very ugly watch, personally.
so. Interestingly, I think it's a very good looking watch. I find it too big on the wrist. Every time I put one on, it's a thick, big watch. I think the green's interesting. I think that's going to do very well. I think people are going to be very interested in that. And I think the she got your bank card open. I think the blue and the rose gold is going to do very well as well. Again, not a huge amount to say on that. I think that's going to be it's going to do well. I think they've hit the nail on the head with the colours and everything like that. That is pretty much all the releases. What is the one you're most excited about and think is really cool?
The 1908?
This one,
Yeah.
So what are they calling it? It's got an actual Perpetual 1908. I agree with you. I think this is the most exciting in terms of finally something new from Rolex. Unfortunately, I think it's going to go the same way as the Cellini. I think it's going to be a massive flop. I don't think people are going to be interested. However, it maybe opens the door for Rolex experimenting more with their history and their past and some really exciting ranges as part of that history. Yeah. I also think we're going to have to wait and see, but I think the Oyster Perpetual is going to be an interesting one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to have to cut it there, unfortunately. So let us know down in the comments. Your thoughts, your opinions. If you want to see more videos like this, maybe it's going to be very tricky with a baby. You guys and girls get it. But yeah, we're gonna have to leave it there. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you all again next time. Take care.